With the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake and the re-release of Super Mario 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine, it got me thinking, what games would I like to see remade? So here's my top 10 list of video games I would like to see remade. Number 10, Mike Tyson's Punchout. Now, some of you may know this game as Punchout, but I played this game when it was released at the height of Mike Tyson's popularity as being the undefeated champion. In this game, you play as a character named Little Mac. You have to box various opponents such as Glass Joe, Piston Honda, and King Hippo. You have to fight Mike Tyson to be the champion, so much like Drake, you started at the bottom and now you're here. Now, how would I go about remaking this game? I would start by updating the graphics, give it more of a three-dimensional look, and have full use of the ring rather than staying in one area. I would keep Mario as a referee, because who wouldn't want to have Mario as a referee and counting to 10 and declaring you the winner? I would also give the characters voices instead of little blips and bleeps. Number 9, Snake, Rattle, and Roll. This game is a lot of fun. Very weird, but it's fun. Now, this game stars two snakes named Rattle and Roll. You can do a solo play or you can do a co-op. Even with co-op, you're still competing against each other for points. In the game, you can only advance to the next level until your characters eat enough of what is called nibbly pibblies. And eat enough of them, you can advance to the next level. I would remake this game by making it more three-dimensional, even though the levels are 3D. But the only drawback I have is that in co-op, if the teammate goes too far ahead, your characters will die as if it fell off a cliff. Number 8, Dragon Ball Z Legend of the Super Saiyan. This game didn't make it to the United States, even though DBZ was very popular here in the 90s. The game does follow the series very well, but I find it to be a little bit lazy that they reuse bosses and change the colors of the sprites to make up for the lack of enemies. But it works. I would change the music to be more rock-oriented and add voices to the characters to give it some life. With the battle system, I personally enjoyed it, but I think to kick it up a notch, the battle system should reflect the system of Budokai and give it a free range to fly around as an option. Number 7, Super Mario 2. Now, I know Nintendo released Super Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS, but it didn't really capture the essence of the original. For those who don't know, this game was actually originally called Doki Doki Panic. The characters were different, but the enemies in the levels were completely identical. Nintendo wanted to capitalize on the success of the first Mario Bros., so they changed Doki Doki Panic, added Mario Bros. Characters, and named it Mario Bros. 2. The changes I would make is simply just update the music and make it more 3D. Pretty simple, I'd say. Number 6, Contra. This game is an amazing game. This game centers around two guys, and you have to shoot at other people, and then later on you have to shoot aliens. Quite a turn. I didn't expect that. What makes this game quite a challenge is the whole one hit and you're dead thing. I understand that's part of the challenge, but if I were to remake this game, I would eliminate that whole aspect altogether. Just give the characters a life meter, improve the music, and then that's it. Number 5, Skate or Die 2, The Search for Double Trouble. If you were a skater who grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, you probably played this game. I'm always disappointed at how this game didn't spawn more sequels. Now, the first Skate or Die game was okay, didn't have a story. It was just a fun game that you can play with yourself or with your friends in various different games. Now, this game has two options. You can do a story mode, or you can skate down a ramp to earn points. For those who don't know, Double Trouble is when a large half-pipe ramp has a small spine ramp in the middle. In the adventure mode, you play as an unnamed character as you skate your way through the streets, malls, boardwalks, and a warehouse. At the end, you have to defeat the main villain, who goes by the name Ice Pick. In the story, Ice Pick runs over the mayor's poodle. What a dick. As a result, the mayor bans the use of skateboards in town. Good going, Ice Pick, douche. Anyway, in this game, there isn't a currency to help you buy better skateboards that are faster and let you jump higher. Instead, there are items that you can trade to acquire new boards. How would I improve this game? First off, the ramp part needs a complete overhaul and give you the ability to create your own avatar, male or female, and skate down various ramps that you get to choose and eventually customize after acquiring enough points to do so. As for adventure mode, I would make the characters look a little more lifelike, make the animation smoother, improve the music by using songs from various punk and rock bands to fit the vibe of the game. Change the items and the whole barter system as well, because who uses cassettes anymore? Number 4, Super Dodgeball. Holy moly, how did this game not become super popular? This game is so damn good. If you haven't played it and you're a classic NES player, do give it a try. This game has 3 different options to choose. In the one-player mode, you play as Team USA, going through various countries such as Japan, China, and Iceland. Now for the record, Iceland isn't the country that's covered in ice, that's Greenland, and the USSR. Now this game came out in the 80s when Russia was known as the USSR. Now this game has 2 two-player options. The first, you can choose to go head-to-head against each other by choosing different countries. The other option they have is what they call Beanball, where you play as any member of Team USA in front of what looks like a prison? Upon further examination, I think that's a schoolyard. Now, as for the improvements I'd make in this game, I know this game was released on the 3DS, the Wii, and the Wii U, but it didn't have the same vibe as the original. Now let's start with something more obvious, like replacing USSR with Russia. I think replacing Team All-Stars with a different country, like Mexico, Canada, or even Australia. Even though I love the power throws they have in this game, but I think updating them to be more extravagant would be a nice touch. And making them easier to do would be nice as well. Let's start with changing the names of the players on the team to be, more modern, update the music, cater them to each country to make it more authentic. Number 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This game starts out as a rescue mission to get April O'Neil back, but then you have to get Splinter back from the Foot Clan when they kidnap him. Upon getting him back, you have to retrieve a transformation gun from Shredder to turn Splinter back into a human. Now let's get into the alterations I make on this game. First, right off the bat, the strength of the characters needs to be more balanced. If you've played this game, you know Donatello is OP in this game. Who really uses Raphael or Michelangelo? Next, let's make everything more 3D. And also, can we get enemies that are more recognizable? Who are these enemies?
Who are you people?
I've watched the movies, cartoons, and played other turtle games and never seen them before. Lastly, can we fix the cover art to this game? Everyone has the same red bandana. Is everyone badly cosplaying as Raphael? That drove me nuts as a kid. Number 2, Xenogears. Oh my god, what can I say about this amazing RPG? This game blew me away. This game combines my love of RPGs and giant robots. Xenogears stars this guy named Fei Thong Wong and other travelers that join him to take down the powerful rule of Solaris. I love the battle system in this game. You learn combos and you can use special moves and special attacks. This game uses a lot of elements of religion as part of its story. What impressed me was the cutscenes that they used and the animations for that cutscene. It took me a while to learn that the person behind this soundtrack was none other than Yasuni Mitsuda. Correct me if I'm not pronouncing that right. He created the soundtrack for Chrono Trigger, my favorite game of all time. The story and gameplay is stunning and unforgettable. The story incorporates elements of Jungian psychology and Freudian thought. As a kid, I didn't catch on to those things until years later, but it was very well done. I hate to say this, as much as I love this game, there are changes I would make to this game to remake it. First, improve the graphics to make the animation more smoother and the transitions into the areas where you go more smoother. Improve the music quality to be more crisp sounding. The only main criticism I would say I have with this game is that grinding for levels is a bitch. I would make it a tad bit easier to get levels in this game. Now, aside from that, there's not really much I would improve upon in this game. Now, before we get into number 1, let's see some games that get the old honorable mention. Number 1, Chrono Trigger. I know there was a project years ago to remake this game with a 3D version. It looked so wonderful. It had plenty of potential. Damn you, Square Enix! Anyway, this game is my favorite, as I've mentioned. This game follows the story of Chrono and how his life was changed when he met this girl named Marl at the fair, and his friend Luca shows off her matter transporter, which Marl's pendant turns it into a time machine, and the rest is history. Anyway, this game has an amazing battle system. The tech system is simply stellar, using dual and triple attacks. The soundtrack is by far the best video game soundtrack I've heard in a long time. The characters are so unique and memorable. I mean, what changes would I make to this game? I guess if I had to, I would remake this game as painful as it would be to touch this masterpiece. First, I would make it more three-dimensional, make the soundtrack a better quality. Now, I'm torn on this one though. I would love to give them voices to the characters, but I don't really think it's needed. So, well, I guess that covers it. Do you guys agree with my list? What changes would you make to these games? Let me know in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter at BlackOmen10. And I will see you guys in the next one.